So, is surrogacy really common? I mean, how many people really do this? If you've ever wondered that, I'm going to answer that question now. How common is surrogacy in the US? Stick around. What's up? I'm Corlandos Scott, and I'm a surrogacy attorney. My entire practice revolves around helping people grow their family through assisted reproduction. So, you might be wondering, how common is assisted reproduction and surrogacy specifically? In this video, we'll look at surrogacy by the numbers. I'll talk about how common surrogacy is in the US, and we'll even look at surrogacy numbers in other countries. So what are the numbers on surrogacy in the US? Well, just to put it simply, there are about 750 surrogacy births every year, and that number is growing increasingly. So by the time you watch this video, we could be at the 1,000 mark. Who knows? Unfortunately, the statistics lag a couple years behind, but I'll give you the most recent credible numbers on assisted reproduction. According to the CDC, in 2018, there were over 306,000 assisted reproductive technology cycles. Now that could have been anything from IVF to IUI, which is intrauterine insemination, to surrogacy, to egg donation, to sperm donation, but 306 goes at it. That gives me a lot of comfort on one hand because I know that people are getting the help they need to grow their family. But it also lets me know just how common fertility issues are, and that if you're dealing with fertility issues, you shouldn't be ashamed. You should definitely look for solutions because trust me, you have options. So the way that over 306 assisted reproduction cycles pans out is this. There were over 73,000 live deliveries that resulted in over 81,000 babies being born. Of course, some of them were multiple pregnancies, so that's why you have those numbers. And in case you were wondering, a multiples pregnancy is simply when a woman is carrying more than one fetus at a time. So twins, triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets, octomoms, that kind of thing. So the bottom line is this. Over 1% of all babies born in the US are born as a result of assisted reproduction. How about that? Now, I know you're probably thinking, Corlando's 1% or above 1% doesn't seem like a lot to me, but it is when you consider that almost 4 million babies are born every year in the United States. So that 1% is a pretty sizable number. So one of the questions is, why is surrogacy becoming so common in the United States? Well, one of the obvious answers is because it's possible. Now the medicine and technology are increasing exponentially every year so that couples and individuals who would have never had a chance in the past can now take advantage of the medical technologies and grow their family through assisted reproduction. It's also becoming more common because as the medicine and technology improve, the legal world is allowing for that technology to be used. So you have states that were opposed to surrogacy and opposed to assisted reproduction in the past, now looking at the process and saying, you know what, this is a viable option for several people, so we should create a legal framework that makes it safe and makes it possible for our people to take advantage of it. Of the states in the United States that allow surrogacy, some of the most popular are states like California and Nevada, Oregon. These states have set up a legal framework that allow for surrogacy, protect the surrogate, and protect the interests of the intended parents. So with this type of setup, you have a framework that you can build upon and be confident that when you start the process, you'll be able to end the process taking home a beautiful baby that you're the parent of legally. I know what the numbers say, but I'm curious what you think. I want to know what your experience has been. Do you know anyone who's gone through the surrogacy process as a parent or as a surrogate? Are you thinking about going through the surrogacy process on either side? Comment below and let me know. I like to know just how common it really is when you get down to it. And to be sure, the United States does not have a monopoly on assisted reproduction, and they don't have a monopoly on surrogacy. So let's take a look at how some other countries view surrogacy and assisted reproduction. Countries like Georgia and Ukraine, they have a similar outlook on surrogacy as many states in the United States, but they also have relationship requirements. In those countries, the right is limited only to married, heterosexual couples who are undergoing fertility problems and one of the parents has to donate genetic material, sperm or egg. Greece is somewhat similar to Ukraine, but in Greece, they don't require the heterosexual couple to donate any of their genetic material in the creation of the embryo. Russia and Kazakhstan share a similar view to the other countries I just listed. It's legal there, but it's limited to heterosexual couples with an unmarried surrogate. I should also note though, Russia has, or some courts in Russia, have recently allowed for single parents to undertake the process. So good for you, Russia. So this really sums up the fact that surrogacy is becoming more common, not only in the US, but the world over. Of course, I always put my money on the US because we have an amazing framework for how we handle surrogacy, and we have a method for you to use to ensure that you're the legal parent of your child born through surrogacy. So now you're a little more acquainted with surrogacy and how common it is. If you want to learn more about surrogacy and how the process works here in the US, make sure you click the link below to get my surrogacy roadmap. It's a free tool that I offer you that gives you a perspective of how the surrogacy process works from beginning to end. So I'll walk you through every step of the process. You'll know what comes first, second, third, fourth, and all the rest of it. Click the link below and get your own surrogacy roadmap.